What is going on my haunted followers, guys? Welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, I want to say apologies for not being able to upload for the past 2 weeks, or maybe even 3 weeks now. My schedule is just really busy, guys. I'm doing my best here. I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers, guys. Thank you for subscribing. I'm doing my best to upload. And getting subjects is another big thing that I really want to find something different. For this channel, I wanna kind of branch out for different areas and not just stick with ghosts and cryptozoological and monsters or whatever have you. So this is why I'm covering this topic. I think it's a topic that's been one of my favorites for such a long time because this unbelievable fear people have of these things, and that's clowns. Clowns, guys. I know that there's a lot of people out there who have an unrational fear about them. They're freaky because we don't know what's behind the masks, the makeup. And as you see in these 5 stories, some of them might just be real. So, as always, sit back and prepare to get scared. Everyone has their own fears. Well, mine is clowns. I mean, fear that goes beyond fear. I hate clowns, and to hear my story, you'll know why I hate them so much. This happened to me when I was about 8. That was 20 years ago. Yet, I remember like it was yesterday. Our town always held this local carnival. They would come to town every year in September. I loved it, but I always hated the tent show. Sure, there was acrobats and elephants, and that was the fun part. But any time the clowns would show up, I would hide. Now, there's this one clown. His name was Bubbles. That clown, I know now as an adult, it's just makeup and all of that. Fake. Right? Bubbles would always choose a kid from the audience to dance with the other clowns. I was always lucky enough never to get chosen until my older brother one year told Bubbles how I was afraid. Bubbles then came up to me, and I can still picture his face, that nose, that makeup, that evil grin. Afraid of clowns? Huh. You should come dance with us, he told me. I was absolutely freaking out. I wanted to scream. So he walked me down to the other clowns, and they started to dance around me. I was so scared, I couldn't move. Then one of the girls' clowns came up to me and said, "What's wrong, hon? There's no need to be scared. It's just act. It's just for fun." For a second, I felt a little better, until Bubbles gave the most evil look at this girl clown. I could literally see her sink into herself, and she walked away. I thought, what was that about? Bubbles then approached me. "You better dance, kid. You're making us all look bad. Dance!" I was so afraid. So afraid. I felt this feeling of evil coming from him. So I danced. I danced the best I could. And then Bubbles said, "Good job, kid. Go back to your mommy." And then he said the most freakiest thing that I've ever heard. "Be good, kid, or you'll end up like us." I will never, ever forget that. As long as I live, I hate clowns. What is it about clowns that we fear? Is it the fact that we don't know who or even what is behind the makeup? I mean, Stephen King didn't help with building a horrible background for clowns. But even before that, we've had this irrational fear of clowns. But if you only knew the horrors, you'd understand. This is my story about the time I was almost taken by a clown. I warn you, the story is frightening. I was about 8 years old. We had already had a strange happenings in the town. One of them being the disappearance of a local boy named Tommy. No one knew how or what happened to him. That was until weeks later, his body was found miles from his home in an abandoned trailer. No one was ever told how or what happened to him. Just that it was suspicious. Of course, parents started freaking out and wouldn't even allow the kids to go out. Rumors started to pop up all over town about clown sightings. I didn't believe any of this. That was until weeks later. I was playing ball outside, basketball, and the ball just happened to roll away from me and into the street. All of a sudden, a van pulled up. I remember thinking, oh, that's a creepy looking van. That's when this clown, makeup, dress and all, hopped out of the van. "Hey, here's your ball. Come get it," the clown said. I was hesitant, extremely hesitant. "Could you just throw it to me?" I remember him saying something about the "come get it." "Hey, do you like cotton candy?" At first I was like, yeah, of course. "Well, I have some." I just got back from a really fun birthday party. I have extra. I thought, but something told me not to. I don't know what was protecting me that day, but I was like, I'll go ask my mom. That's when the clown said, "Never mind," in this really, really angry voice, and kicked the ball back towards me. I told my mom, but she never believed me. I don't know if anything ever happened or if they ever caught anyone, but I swear, if I ever see a van or a clown like that, I'm gonna freak out. Because I want to be telling this story, not if I had gotten taken by that clown. So, clowns, all clowns, keep away from me. Now, everyone has some type of fear towards clowns. I mean, honestly, who likes them? Do clowns like being clowns? I doubt that. Maybe I'm wrong. But if you only knew the reason why I hate them, I fear them, maybe you would understand. My story starts back in 2001. I was maybe 8 or 9. Now, my memory doesn't really serve me well, but I remember enough. A local carnival had come to town. The good old COVID hadn't ruined it yet. God, I hate COVID. Rides, prizes, popcorn. Who wouldn't want to go? I was so pumped. We spent the good half of the day going on rides, winning prizes. Then came the circus show. They had all sorts of acrobats, animals, then the clowns. I had never had fear of them. Honestly, I didn't pay much attention to them. The clown show was boring. I actually asked to leave, so we did. After the show, I had to use a bathroom, so I was using the porta potty. After I finished, I walked out. There, standing in front of the toilet, was a clown. "What's wrong, kid? Do I bore you with something?" Thinking it was a joke, I just laughed. Then the clown said, "You're not going to ruin this. Not for me. I didn't spend hours putting this makeup on and training for some little brat just to walk away." I started to get really nervous. Maybe he was trying to scare me. "Maybe I should teach you a lesson or something. Maybe some manners, you little brat." At this point, I didn't know what to do. Then, I swear, I saw a knife in his hand. I somehow slipped past him, ran to my mom and told her. But when I looked back over, he was gone. My mom, of course, didn't believe me, thinking that I was just making it up. But I'll never forget that day. I swear to God, he could have easily killed me, stuffed me in that porta potty, never to be found. I hate clowns. Now, what is more scarier? Of a living clown or a clown back from the dead? Well, I'm here to tell you about my ghost story about a local abandoned amusement park. A lot of the kids didn't pay much attention to, but me and my friends loved checking it out. Rumors had spread around for many years the reason it closed, but the story behind it was a story about an accident that killed one of the carnies, a clown. Back in the early 70s, the park was preparing for a grand opening of the park. This clown named Stem was not the nicest. He hated children, but due to past run in the law, he had found the work to be better than most paying. It also gave him a place to sleep. But he hated children, and he was very distasteful towards them. The day of the grand opening, Stem was in his trailer getting ready. Rumors had spread that the carnies wanted to get rid of him, so they stuffed his door shut, closed his windows, set his trailer on fire. It was just to scare him, but unfortunately, he ended up burning to death. And now that his soul haunted the area. Yeah, okay, I thought. Well, one night, a few friends and I went out for a little venture into the park, looking at the old rides. We found the old playhouse, the House of Horrors, or the House of Mirrors, whatever you want to call it. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff had been torn down or vandalized, but the mirror still stood. I was in there checking it out, and I had this ever creepy feeling that I was being watched. That's when I heard this creepy laugh from behind me. Thinking it was one of my friends, I turned around in distaste of scaring me, but I was alone. The laugh now came in front of me. I spun around. There, in the mirror, was this creepiest looking clown I have ever seen. I rubbed my eyes, but he was still there, with this ever-looking hatred in his eyes. Get out! I ran out of the building so fast. My friends didn't believe me at first, until they heard it too. The laugh from inside the building. Then we smelled this smoke, this horrible burning smell under our noses. We ran out of that park and never returned. That was 10 years ago. The park is still there. Stories after stories about people being scared away by this clown. Some even say that Stem never died, and he still lives in the park, covering his burns with makeup. And anyone who attempts to stay is killed. Living clowns, dead clowns. I hate clowns. Well, all my haunted followers, guys, I hope that you enjoyed those stories. I've been really wanting to do clown stories for quite some time. I just don't want to push my channel towards that, but I think that's where the future of my channel is going to go. I don't just want to focus on paranormal or cryptozoological or UFOs. I really want to push the channel towards things, like Let's Never Meet Again stories, running with possible serial killers, Also, I think those stories are frightening enough. So I think it's really cool, stalkers and everything. I think that would be really cool for that channel to roll that way, while keeping at ghosts and monsters. Because I see a lot of channels like Dr. Prevails and Swamp Dweller. They do a lot of those stories, and I think that's a really good advocate towards the future of this channel. So what I want next is Let's Never Meet Again stories. So if you have a story about a run-in with a stalker, serial killer, something, just a creepy person, share it with me. because I think that's where I want to go right now. But going back, clowns. Clowns are, without a doubt, frightening because I think the idea behind them, and clowns have always been a major fear for everyone. It's not just ghosts. It's just, you know, we don't know who's behind the makeup, mask, even. We don't know who the person is. We have no idea who that person is. We can't judge a person by, from what they're wearing at that point. And I think Stephen King made clowns even more frightening with it. You know, John Wayne Gacy, also another frightening person who was a clown. So, clowns are, people have a reason to fear clowns, I guess I'm trying to say. But I hope you guys, I really do hope that you enjoyed those stories. Again, I'm sorry for the late uploads. It's really hard at this point. But I want to keep pushing the content out there. Please keep liking and sharing my stories. I love the comments. I love hearing you guys sending me messages and wanting me to go do this kind of story. Yes, I've gotten several video requests for do another Skinwalker story. I will do that next. Maybe we'll do another Skinwalker story if you guys, that's what you guys want. I'll do another Skinwalkers. I do have several stories I haven't shared yet for Skinwalkers. There was one story that I really didn't want to go with because it was just kind of like very violent, but I'm going to do some editing in the story. I'm going to reach out back up to that person, see if I can edit it and do that. I know you guys want another werewolf story, and I know you want another vampire story. Vampire stories are very hard to come by, but I will reach back out to, Reddit and you guys if you have more vampire stories. But, and I know that, again, I want to go with Let's Not Meet Again stories. That's another thing I want to do. So there's big happenings for this channel. So stick by me, keep liking, subscribing, and always, happy hauntings.